Good morning, students. Let's get back to our English class and continue with your supplementary reader, chapter number 2. The name of the chapter is The Adventures of Toto. So let's continue with paragraph 6. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. So the author is telling that when grandfather was going to Dehradun to collect his pension and he took Toto also along with him, at that time the author could not go with grandfather due to some reason. But later on, grandfather told him about what had happened when he took Toto along. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. Since he had to take Toto along with him in a bus, in a public conveyance, so it was not an easy task. As it is, Toto was a mischievous monkey. Moreover, the grandfather had to travel by a public conveyance. So he had to find out some way to take him along. So what he did, grandfather arranged a black color canvas kit bag for Toto. So he chose this canvas bag because canvas is a strong material. It's a strong cloth made up of flex, and it is not very easy for Toto to tear this bag. That is why he selected a kit bag made up of canvas material. This, with some straw at the bottom, became his new abode. And he arranged some straw. Some straw means some dried stalks of some grain which is sometimes used in packing to give cushioning so that things won't break. So he arranged some straw at the bottom of the bag, and this became his new abode. Abode means a house or a home. So until they have to finish traveling, this was the new home for Toto, that canvas bag. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. And once grandfather closed that bag, Toto could not run away from there. There was no way he could free himself. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. Neither there was some kind of opening from where Toto could take out his hands, nor it was such a simple cloth bag that he would tear it out and come out of it. So it was a very strong canvas bag. So it was almost impossible for Toto to tear the bag. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air. An exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. So, whenever Toto tried to come out of it, only one thing he could do, that he could only roll the bag on the floor sometimes. Nothing more than that he could do. And whenever he was doing this and the bag was rolling on the floor, it would attract the people all around. They were curious, they were eager to know what was happening, what was inside the bag. Onlookers were very curious. Onlookers means the spectators of or the people around who were standing on the Dehradun railway platform. They were very curious to know what was inside the bag which was making the bag roll on the floor. Paragraph 7. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, But while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. So, till the time the grandfather reached Saharanpur, so Toto was controllable and he was inside the bag only. But as soon as the grandfather reached the railway station after completing his journey and he was producing his ticket, he was showing his ticket to the ticket collector at the turnstile. Turnstile is a mechanical gate that allows only one person at a time to pass through. So when he was passing through that gate and was coming out, so suddenly Toto took out his head and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Means he was showing his teeth to the ticket collector as if he was giving a broad smile. Paragraph 8. The poor man was taken aback. The ticket collector was shocked to see the presence of an animal in the bag with grandfather, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance. But he used his common sense and did not care about grandfather's anger. He said very confidently, "Sir, you have a dog with you, you will have to pay for it accordingly." So the collector told the grandfather that since he had an animal with him in the journey, which he referred as dog mistakenly, but still he insisted that grandfather has to pay for that animal too. Paragraph 9. In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Now grandfather told ticket collector that it was not a dog but a monkey and the ticket collector cannot charge for it. But still it was all a waste of time by the grandfather as the ticket collector was not ready to listen to anything. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector and 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare. So ticket collector insisted that a monkey also is an animal and it would be categorized as a dog, and grandfather had to give the fare for the monkey too. So grandfather finally had to give an amount of 3 rupees to the ticket collector. Paragraph 10. Then grandfather, just to get his own back, took out from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this since you charge for all the animals?" Now grandfather had to take revenge from the ticket collector just for his personal satisfaction. So he took out the pet tortoise from the pocket and then he told the ticket collector that I have got another animal also. Now, are you going to charge for this also? Now, the ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger. Prodded means just poke his finger and try to observe something. Gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look and said, "No charge, it is not a dog." So when he showed the tortoise to the ticket collector, he just tried to observe it with his finger. He touched it, he poked the tortoise with the finger and told the grandfather since it was not a dog, so he was not going to charge for it. And the grandfather was feeling very victorious at the situation since he had won the situation. He could prove to the ticket collector that he is not going to pay the fare for another animal. That is how he was feeling like a winner. Paragraph 11. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home in the stable. So the time had come when the Toto was finally accepted by the grandmother in the family. Now she was aware about the presence of Toto. So now he could be given a comfortable place in the stable where some of the animals would live. So in the stable, he would get another friend also, that was a donkey, family donkey, and the name of that donkey was Nana. So first time when Toto was kept with Nana and he was spending his time with him, so just grandfather came inside the stable to observe if Toto was comfortable, but he was shocked to see that Nana was behaving in a very strange manner without any apparent cause, means without any clear reason. He was pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from a bundle of hay. So Nana was provided a bundle of hay, that was bundle of grass, that was used as animals fodder to feed the animals. So it was shocking to see that Nana, instead of coming closer to his food, he was rather trying to keep away his head from the food as much as possible. Paragraph 12. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches, and she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. So, grandfather just wanted to find out what is wrong with Nana, what is wrong with that donkey. So, he just gave a kind of pat or a light slap across her haunches, the backside of the donkey, that is known as haunches. So, it just jumped back, and it was also pulling along with it Toto. He had fastened on to her long ears with his sharp little teeth. So, what could grandfather observe? That Toto had actually fixed his teeth on his long ears. That is why the donkey was quite uncomfortable and was behaving in a very strange manner. Toto and Nana never became friends. So they were never comfortable with each other, so they could never become friends.
So thank you dear students. We will continue with the chapter in the next class.